Hey everyone, Chris Haddon, Jason Balin with the REI 360 show from REI360.net and HardMoneyBankers.com, our two companies. Topic for today. I have a problem with the notion of hard work in quotation marks, and we'll explain why. I think that the American people, workforce, whatever, has a strange feeling, a strange attachment to the idea of hard work and how important that might be without even necessarily defining what it is. And a couple things. I want to break down what that might be definition-wise and why it's a bit of a problem. Okay, hard work. We've always been told that you work hard, it's a good thing, it's a positive thing, and I believe it is, but I think there's just more to it than the very basic, approach that people have with it. So hard work could be a couple things. Is it hours? Is it just time spent in a place? Like a lot of people do that, you know what I mean? Like I worked 14 hours yesterday. That was really hard work. That must be a good thing, right? Or is it?
What exactly did you accomplish?
What happened?
14 hours.
You were in a place like an office or whatever for this amount of hours. What the hell does that mean? I mean, what does that really do for you? So that's one issue. Issue number one, is it time? Do you measure it in time? The other one is, do you measure it in effort? Okay, I'll give you an example. I worked construction for a summer during college, and it was really, really hard. That was hard work. Is that going to get me where I want to be? I mean, did I accomplish anything great? I wouldn't say so, but that was hard. Like if the measurement is in effort, that was hard work.
That's right. Probably the hardest work.
Probably the hardest work. And then even combine them together, like maybe you have really difficult work that lasts for a lot of hours. Is that getting us all where we want to be? I don't think so. Yet, a lot of people would wear that as a badge of honor, as like, I'm doing great, without focusing on the results, which is the point, which is what we're about to get to. Without focusing on results, just wearing that hard work badge of honor and calling it a win. I think it's a major problem in American society. I think it's a problem in everyone's office, including ours. We're probably better than most in that degree, but it's a problem nonetheless, even with some people we do business with every day.
Yeah, the key word, what you just said, is results, and that's really the only thing that you need to be and should be focusing on, because let's be honest, like it's not all that impressive when somebody comes to you and says, I stayed up all night, I had this, I did that, I get to the office, I'm the first one to get here, I'm the last one to leave. That's all fine and dandy, but like what actually are you working on a regular basis? And I'm not saying that you can't be working on productive things in those times, because let's be honest, if you have let's say you have 6 hours to work towards something productive, and instead of doing 6 hours, you do 12 hours. And if you truly are being that productive on doing that and you're accomplishing, twice as much as the next person, don't get me wrong, there's something to be said about that. But most of the time, it's just, the measurement of all of this effort is just based on the time and not as the physical results. And kind of a good example is, can you accomplish something in 2 hours that would only take 2 hours when you could also accomplish the exact same thing in 6 hours? That scenario is a little bit vice versa, but it's one of those things that, hey, you have a deadline to do something, right? And chances are, if you have a 6 hour deadline, I'm willing to bet you can probably do that exact same amount of work and the same amount of quality for 2 hours, knowing that is your deadline. And that's your only option.
I see what you mean. Yeah, there's a law for that. I forget what it's called, but however much time you allot yourself to complete a given task, that's how much time you'll take. It could be 2 hours, it could be 6 hours.
That's right. And again, that's not the whole point of this. It's just really double checking what you're actually doing. And a lot of people don't know they're doing, they think it's hard work because, they don't know any other option. They think what they're doing is productive on a regular basis. And
I wouldn't even call it productive. I think the issue is that people are focused on the hard work being in and of itself the goal.
Sure.
And if you worked hard, you must have done a good job. Like we have a guy we do business with that after a certain transaction in the real estate business, he didn't even want to see the report. Like he had like a mental number of where he thought the profit came out. Turned out to be wrong. Not a big surprise, because you just can't do stuff like that mentally. You need your numbers. But to him, it was hard work, and he was up the next day at 5 a.m. Therefore, he must be doing something right.
Yeah, but I actually think I think in real estate investing, a lot of people are notorious on that. They're not
dangerous.
It is dangerous because they're more concerned of how many deals have you. A common thing in real estate is how many deals did you do this year? Mm-hmm. Oh well, I did 10 deals this year. Okay, well, how many were profitable or really profitable or hit the numbers that you went? That's what's impressive. How many deals did you not go over construction on? How many deals did you make the exact return that you wanted to? Because, I mean, you could do 1, 2, 3 deals and make more money as a whole than doing, 50 bad deals. And that's common in real estate investing, which is a completely different topic, obviously. But, they're not focused on the right things. And,
Correct.
Him getting up at 5 in the morning, who knows what he was even doing.
Right. But that, I mean, people, in American work culture are going to automatically tell themselves that they're doing the right thing.
Sure.
I'm working that hard, right? In both the hours and the effort. And the bottom line's out there. The results that we're looking for isn't there. Yet people still keep going forward with that game plan.
Sure.
I think it's a major problem. And although it's not an easy fix, it's at least something to be focused on. When we talk about results, it can be different things. Like oftentimes it's financial because we are talking business. It can be, different. It can be top line, bottom line, growth, number of people working here. Like a lot of people measure that. Are we doing enough business so that we can have 25 people here and then 40 next year? But that's still results oriented, right? That's not just the process. It's not focused on the process. It's focused on what happens because of your work or hard work, quotes. We talk about high leverage activity.
Yeah, I mean, obviously related, doing higher lever activity is actually easier now than it has been in the past because you have the web.
Technology.
Web and technology to contribute to that. A lot of the things that we work on that are high level activities are setting up systems, setting up what we call funnels or campaigns or things like that. Stuff that you do some heavy lifting on in the front, and then it's automated, systematized.
Yeah.
After that, either you systematize it with technology or with an employee outsourced or in-house.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to define high leverage activity. It's something, in essence, that's relatively easy to do and has a massive effect. It has a disproportionately large impact compared to the effort it took, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have web campaigns that are set up, marketing campaigns that we set up in 2007,
Sorry, Glenn's making me laugh.
2008, and those are still running on autopilot. Yes, we spend money on them. Yes, we get billed. Yes, there's some minor maintenance associated with it, but it runs itself. And to be quite honest with you, it's probably, some of those things that we have in place are probably equivalent to us paying a $100,000 a year employee to do that for us, and it's automated.
It's true, and it's automated.
And it has been for years.
Yeah, super high leverage. What would you say are your top couple things in terms of high leverage activities? The most output for a relatively easy thing.
So
just one or two off.
At our stage of the game, the hiring employees correctly and managing employees correctly is a huge one, especially sales staff, which is very hard to manage correctly. We haven't had all that much turnover on that, which is probably a good thing because that's, sales staff are notorious to turn over every 18 months. So that's one big thing, as well as just working through a lot of our online internet marketing campaigns. A lot of the things that we have is, I'm not sitting here and, babysitting these things to try to get in leads. It's, I'm going to devote some time and energy to really set these things up so they're automated, and then I can work on the next one and the next one and the next one. And,
yeah, it's a good call.
I mean, I could just sit there and spend 2 hours every day babysitting them, but, there's the time thing. But, with any internet campaign, you figure out the best results for it, automated, and just kind of happens, and you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So I have a top couple also, and I threw out that question: what are your top couple high leverage activities? We definitely overlap on one. The web marketing, without a doubt, is some of the huge impact and reach for relatively minor amount of work that goes into it. That's a no-brainer. People, for sure, I agree with that. I also thought about money's ability to make money.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
nothing makes money better than money.
Nothing makes money like money. You invest in something today, and that is going to keep growing, as long as it's a good investment vehicle for a long time and have a huge impact. And you do very, very little work to make that happen.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Snowball episode a little bit as well, and that's such one that's hard for people to grasp because it's like, well, I don't have a lot of money to start with. You got to start somewhere. Doesn't matter what it is, and just stay consistent with it.
Yep. Yeah, I love this topic, and I'm going to wrap it up by saying...
Well, the reason why you love this topic is we talk about it with business partners and employees and things on a regular basis. It's real life stuff that, we'll sit at conferences and things like that, and people will be, look like they're dragging. I need an extra cup of coffee. I need this. I was up all night working. I was doing this, and my guess is 9 out of 10 or 99 out of 100 of them were just working on the wrong things. And that's what kind of pisses you off, actually.
Or just glorifying the effort and the hours and all that
Yeah.
weird stuff instead of the results. I'm frankly even kind of surprised that more people don't talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't this seem like just a nonstop, constant problem in everyone's face and everyone's conversation? Like, I don't know.
And you also know damn well that, you know, you are a lot less productive than you think when you don't have your proper sleep, when you don't eat properly, when all your health stuff is in it. And if you're, you know, doing whatever, popping pills or whatever the hell you're doing to stay up all night on a consistent basis, it is not productive for anybody.
No doubt. No doubt.
And it happens in the business world, and it happens a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small business owners. You know, listen, I mean, let's take like the restaurant business in general, and I don't want to obviously drag this topic out, but you know, they work long hours, and if they're owner operators on it, and you know, they kind of have to get to the point of like, you need to figure out a way to change somehow. Maybe it's hiring staff, maybe it's, I don't know, doing this, putting other systems in place, maybe putting, you know, checks and balances in place so your cashier doesn't run up with your cash. But whatever the case is, it's, you know, make sure you're focused on results.
Focus on results, not on the work itself. The hard work itself is not what you're after. If it were, no one would ever copy and paste. You'd have to retype that shit, because that would be better.
That's
right.
That's a good point. Or swipe websites from each other.
Yeah. On that note, thanks guys for checking it out. REI 360 Show and hardmoneybankers.com. Check us out next time. Thanks.
Take care.